When they say it's proposal season, they are not kidding. 7 out of 10 engagements happen on or near the holidays. Here with pointers on protocol is wedding planner and author of Wonder-Filled Weddings, Michael Nolte. So welcome back, Michael. And we're talking 70%.
Yes, between Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and Valentine's Day, 70% of the weddings will happen in 2020 and are going to happen. They're going to get launched in the next few weeks.
So if maybe this is a situation that could be happening in your family, what does the typical proposal look like?
Well, and kind of this segment is about the advice for the parents. If they know that their son or their daughter is about to get engaged, and the other one doesn't know it, one of the things is I always say to the guys, keep it private. This is a life chapter moment. It's kind of like, you know, having a baby. There shouldn't be a spectator audience for it. Oftentimes, though, there's a party that follows the proposal, which is a lot of fun.
Okay, and then let's talk about this, because some people who maybe want to ask for someone's hand in marriage, should the groom always ask the bride's father?
Always. That will be a tradition that I don't think will ever go out of custom or protocol. And I think that, you know, that young man may one day be the father of a daughter, and he would certainly like to have that same consideration. I think it's always important that the mother of the bride does not know that that conversation is going to happen
and
either.
Why is that? Is that because it could leak out?
She's going to say, oh, don't you want to go get a manicure today? Or are you sure? Let's go shop for a new outfit for this date on such and such.
I can see my mom saying that.
Exactly. And then pretty soon the bride gets kind of suspicious, going, why is mom all insistent that I look really good on this particular day?
Okay, and then talking about parents, because let's talk about this. This is joining of families. How do they decide to get together?
Well, the protocol is that the groom's parents should always send flowers the following day to their daughter-in-law-to-be, and in the note say to the effect of, we're so thrilled to have you be a part of our family.
Wow.
That's one thing.
That's a really nice
It's a nice touch. And I remember when my folks did it for my wife, and I was surprised they even knew to do that. And then,
but see, they knew.
They knew, and I wasn't even in the business back then. But then the groom's parents should always call on the bride's parents, and by that expression, I mean invite them out for dinner. And the key thing is, don't ever have that dinner in your home.
And why would this be a problem?
Too much stress, too much judgment. Is our house nice enough? Is it bigger than theirs, smaller than theirs? Is it clean enough? What do we fix? So have it in a neutral place like a restaurant. And during that visit, don't have the kids along. Let the parents get acquainted authentically, and don't talk about money in that visit. Okay,
that makes so much sense. Now, Michael, how did your son-in-law actually ask you? Because this is a really nice story.
Well, you know, I'll do the abbreviated version because, and a part of it was because it was such a personal time, but he and I had been kind of sneaking around and having either drinks or dinner about every 6 weeks that my wife and my daughter did not know about as we were getting acquainted. And I thought we were just going for a regular dinner, and boom, out in the parking lot of the restaurant, he paused us and said, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. And he presented me with a bottle of very good Jack Daniels for good reasons.
Okay, that's fun.
Oh, absolutely. and 2 Waterford Rocks glasses in a pattern that I don't collect. And he just said, could we always promise that we'll use these 2 glasses only when we're together?
That's such a special story.
And then he had a wonderful story that went behind that, and it about knocked me over. I was totally blindsided. And then I kept the secret for almost a month and a half, and he invited me to go with him to shop for the ring, which is really cool too. And
that is really cool. We know that Michael can keep a secret now.
Oh man.
But you also are helping so many people plan their wedding. So what are the first steps after a holiday proposal?
Literally call the best wedding coordinator you can find, because seriously, that would keep you from blabbing and promising anything. Lots of times you'll start saying to people, oh, you'll be invited, or you'll promise a vendor that they're going to get the business, and maybe that's not the right vendor for your particular wedding. So keep it on the down low. Get a hold of a good wedding coordinator, have a 2-hour meeting, and kind of get a path for how you're going to start to plan this before you promise anything. Because you actually probably don't even know how much a wedding costs yet, and so that's the point of also not promising before you know what you can pay.
I hear you there. Now, one of the things that we have to do, arrive at a guest list.
And the guest list is never 50-50. If the bride's parents are picking up the tab, which is the tradition, they should indicate in that first dinner, though, the number of people that the groom's parents can invite, not the number of invitations. And that way, the groom's family isn't disappointed and that guest list doesn't go crazy, but it's the number of people. There may be some flexibility in that as funds and space become available, But start off with people, and that's a mistake people make all the time. The groom's family then hands their guest list to the bride's parents, and the bride's parents come into my office and they go, "You're not going to believe the number of people they want to invite." Well, did you mention in advance how many they should? Well, no. Well, here's
Michael,
the repercussions of that.
Thank you so much for walking us through this. And of course, he has all that written up in his book as well.
Wonder-Filled
Thank you.
Weddings. It makes a wonderful proposal present, I have to say.